Welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to enjoy a taste of Italy with a hearty Tuscan soup called ribollita. It's a hearty vegetable soup with Italian bread cooked right in the soup. Ribollita means reboiled in Italian, as they would add the day-old bread on the second or third day and reboil the soup until it's thick and hearty. My daughter just returned from studying abroad in Florence, Italy, where she said this is truly an Italian staple. She said she and her roommates basically lived on it because it's healthy and not that expensive to make. Yes, one of the most delicious dishes ever. It's one of those comfort foods that's soul satisfying and leaves you feeling great. So we're going to start by heating a large soup pot over medium heat. We're going to add just a little olive oil, just like that. Now remember what we always say on the show? You've got a hot pan, cold oil, and you don't stick. So we just got our olive oil right in that pan. Now let's get our onions going. I love to saute my onions. Oh, that's what I wanted. Oh, I love that sizzle, and I love the aromatherapy that gives to my kitchen. That's my word for onions and leeks. And garlic is aromatherapy. I bet we don't hear that very often. Okay, I'm going to saute those down for just a couple minutes until the onions turns translucent. Then I'll add my garlic. I find they digest better that way. I like the caramelized onions. Did you know that's actually the sugars that are releasing that gives it that brown color and makes them taste so good? Okay, that looks good. Now I want to just add my chopped garlic. A couple cloves is about all you need, chopped well. Give that just a moment. My heat's good. Okay, that's good. So now let's add our vegetables. This recipe is thick and chunky, so prepare your vegetables in bite-sized chunks. We've got carrots, zucchini, and green beans. Organic carrots are just the best. You know, they're a good source of beta-carotene. And the zucchini has such good fiber. It's a great source of minerals like potassium, phosphorus, and vitamin B6. We just stir that all up. Add a few green beans for some added crunch. Now at home, I like to cook this for a good 5 to 7 minutes. That's going to let the waters release, and it's going to let the vegetables cook down just a little bit. And at this point is where I'd like to add a little vegetable broth. At home, I'll deglaze the pan with it. Today, we're just going to add a little broth here, kind of stir down in there. There we go. And see it stir up nicely. Oh, and it's so pretty. Okay, and it continues cooking. And then we'll just add the rest of our broth. Now this is one of those soups too that you can add a little bit more broth, or you can add water depending on how much you're going to need when you get all your ingredients in there. It doesn't really matter. And we're going to cook it open so it cooks down. A lot's going to evaporate off and it's nice and thick and creamy. Oh, it's so good. Okay, so now let's add our crushed tomatoes with their juices. I like crushed tomatoes. So good. With their juices, okay? Now we're going to add a couple sprigs of fresh thyme that we've stripped. Now this has been chopped up really good. You don't want those stems in there. And a little sea salt and pepper. Remember, always use that sea salt, 25% less sodium. All right. Now we're just going to stir that in there really good. And we're going to raise the temperature to a medium high. And we're going to cook it for about 20 minutes more to get it cooked down. All right, so let's get this temperature up here a little bit. That's good. You know, tomatoes are such a powerful antioxidant. They're high in lycopene, which can help fight cancer. They're high in vitamin K as well, as being a good blood purifier. And the fresh thyme that we added contains a variety of flavonoids. These increase thyme's antioxidant capacity. Did you know the volatile oil in the thyme has been shown to have antimicrobial activity against a whole host of bacteria and fungi? So by all means, use fresh herbs in cooking whenever you can. When the vegetables are cooked down, then we're going to stir in our tomato paste. I've just got a couple tablespoons here of tomato paste. I like to just get that dissolved in really well. Adds such another dimension of flavor. I like that. And then we're going to cook this at home. You'd want to cook this another 20 minutes on, again, a medium-high heat. Okay, that looks stirred in really well. So now, this is the fun part. We're going to reduce it from high down to a simmer So we can turn that down just a little bit. And this is where we're going to add the stale Italian bread. Now you might think, why do you want to cook with stale bread? But this is tradition in Italy, and you're going to see it tastes great. If you don't have stale bread, you can toast the bread in the oven or in your toaster. Whatever you do though, take your bread like this, take a fresh clove of garlic. This is the secret to the taste in this dish. And just rub it over each slice of bread. This is something the kids can do. They love doing this at home and then saying, oh, that just smells so strong, Mom, but they enjoy it. And they're just going to take this and just tear it right into your pot, just like this. And I've got a whole plate of these ready for us today, just to stir in. You're going to see it thickens up and it just tastes so good. Once I get these stirred in, then we're going to add our cannellini beans. Now, if you can't find cannellini beans, by all means you can use Great Northerns or any small white bean. Here, I've got some cannellinis right here. Now, cannellini beans are traditional Italian beans that are one of the most nutritionally complete foods available. In fact, no other food comes close to beans in providing protein, iron, magnesium, zinc, potassium, so many things together that are good for you in high amounts. You know, they're a complex carbohydrate, so they give you that sense of dietary satisfaction after a meal. I'm adding these at this stage so they don't get overcooked. I just wanted them warmed through and through. Now we're going to add our greens. We've got chard, kale, or spinach. Now today, because we always say on the show, eat what's in season, I couldn't find the Swiss chard, so I'm using kale. And actually, kale is a little bit healthier for you. It's that dark green cruciferous that we talk so much about with iron. We've got spinach. These you're going to want to just actually get wilted down into the soup pot. The health benefits are just tremendous. These are both what we call a superfood. They're high in antioxidants and minerals like iron, magnesium, potassium, and so many more. They're beneficial in fighting cancer due to the combination of phytochemicals and chlorophyll. The high vitamin K content is especially helpful in maintaining bone health, and we ladies really need to take care of that, don't we? Well, we're just going to stir that in. And actually, this is the point what I was talking about at home where it's nice and thick. Don't be afraid to add just a little bit more liquid. I want this to have a little bit more. So I'm going to add just enough, not too much, just about like that. Okay, now that's good. So we'll put our lid on that one. And we'll let that cook for about 5 to 10 minutes until the greens are wilted. The traditional way to serve the ribollita is in a large bowl, as it's very thick. So let's just take our bowl and look at this finished soup. Oh, isn't it just beautiful, bubbling, and so nice and thick? So we're going to take that and just ladle into our bowl. It's so thick you could practically eat it with a fork, couldn't you? Oh, that looks good. Okay, we're going to put that on our plate now. And we're going to serve it the traditional Italian way. We want some minced onion right on top. Nice onion, some freshly grated Parmesan cheese, sprinkle that around. A little parsley's nice. That looks so beautiful. Now, to really do it the Italian way, you're going to want to drizzle just a little extra olive oil, just like that. Looks great. You can add a side salad if you want, and you have a nutritionally complete meal that's healthy cooking at its best. I hope you've enjoyed our trip to Italy today with this one. For a copy of the recipe, go to my website, Print Off and Enjoy, and thank you so much for being with me today. Stay tuned for more of your help.